And let's get game number 6 started. Spawning in the top right corner of the map as the blue Protoss player playing for ECV.SnOvSki. It is SnOvSki. And he is facing off against the yellow Zerg player, playing very aggressive in the last 2 games, but in the second game on Foxtrot Labs he was able to eke out another win. It is going to be the yellow Zerg player ZPR, currently teamless, so he's up for grabs. So let's see if he can equalize the score right here, or if SnOvSki is going to extend that lead once more. Now on this map, going for that early pull and early gas is usually not the best idea, just because the choke is so incredibly small on the other side of the map, and the natural base can be taken inside your own main base. So usually not a good idea, and ZPR is not going for it in this game. But the probe is going to be sent out for SnOvSki relatively early. I believe that SnOvSki wants to go for that Nexus first. That would not surprise me at all. But also a very early drone scout is on the way for ZPR, so both players are going to scout each other relatively early on, and we'll know exactly what is going on. And ZPR, yeah, he's going to go for that hatchery first. And we are going to see a forge first for SnOvSki. Not something that you see a whole lot of on this map. Also because that natural base is inside the main base. But it has been that probe has been spotted by the Overlord earlier. So the pylon is going to come down. Is there a spot here where the probe can sit quietly for a little while? No, the drone can still get in. It can block off any photon cannon placement, but that's definitely going to cause him a lot of lost mining time. Wait, he is going to commit to this. That probe is still alive. We do not see a second drone on the way. Oh, that probe might just bite the dust right there. 2 drones still working on that pylon, but losing those 100 minerals, it's still quite painful in the early game. But losing the mining from those 3 drones also incredibly annoying at this point. Now the spawning pool is on its way. Slowly but surely this pylon will go down. Is he really? No, he's not going to put down that cannon, right? The forge did finish up, and the Nexus is on the way for SnOvSki right now. Does not even really have the funds for it, as he also starts his gateway back at home. He's just going to cut his losses with losing that pylon. It is going to go down, and those drones are going to be mining at the natural base pretty quickly. But he is keeping him on his toes, and there is a proxy hatchery on the way inside the natural base of SnOvSki. Now, is this in vision? No, it is not in vision. Now, this can be very awkward, actually. A photon cannon is being built at the front, but he's going to need to be careful about what is going on inside his base. He's still going to see it. Oh, there's the probe. There's the probe. He sees that there is a proxy hatchery on the way. And he's scouting around, but he knows about it. What is he going to do about it? He's going to need to send a zealot very quickly, or at least start well, 2 photon cannons inside your natural base. But on this map, you don't want to start photon cannons inside your natural base, because on normal maps, when you get that natural base going, you're going to have some extra defense. It's going to be very nice for you. But on this map, those photon cannons, they are going to be lost money, and he does not even have a pylon in position. But also, Zerglings are making it inside that main base. 3 Zerglings are in position, but he's trying to bust it down. But now these 3 Zerglings are making it pretty much impossible. And the most ideal for him is going to be to get the kill, or at least get the queen out. But he already cancelled the queen right there. He's not going to get the queen out to put a Creed tumor down and deny the placement. But now the Broodlings are here as well. Can he kill off the Zealot with that? That would be amazing for him. No, they are not going to be killed off. The Mothership Core and the probes are helping out quite a bit. More Zerglings are going to be on the way. 2 more Zerglings are going to come through. Can he keep the Zealot alive? That would be amazing for him. He does manage to keep it alive. How many probes did go down so far? Only 1 worker was killed off by ZPR, and that 1 Zergling inside the main base not going to be able to do anything. Worker count pretty much equal, but he did lose that hatchery, and that is still 300 minerals lost. But he did start the hatchery at his normal 3rd base on the other side of the map, so he's got that going for him, so he's not going to fall too far behind, but still no gases have been taken at the 7-minute mark. And you do have to be very careful at that point, because there is a Stargate on the way in the back of that base, and the Cybernetics Core is researching that Warp Gate research, so he might put on some aggression on ZPR very soon now too. Now, without that third base, it's going to be staying relatively equal with the worker count, because ZPR still is going to need a few units, at least to scout around the map. And one zealot, once again, being sent out. There's an overlord making sure that there are no cannon rush shenanigans coming down, because sometimes you still see it, that you just do not expect any more cannon rushes, but then suddenly there is that shooting from the orbs from those photon cannons still coming through. Zealot does confirm that there's a third base on the way. He tries to get some scouting intel to see when the layer gets started. And he gets perfect information right there. Are we even going to see a fourth base come through from ZPR very quickly? You might even be able to do that. But it should not be able to stay up for too long. Maybe if SnOvSki does not scout for it, he is going to be able to get some extra information with that. But with a Phoenix opening, he should be able to play a little bit more greedy than normally, so let's see how this is going to work out for him. How many Phoenix are going to be built? We don't see any Phoenix on the production tab right now. Oh, there we go. It was a little bit supply blocked, and 2 more probes do get started with another Phoenix. 2 of them are on the map currently. We'll see that the fourth base is going to come through pretty much immediately, and he's going to try and lift up some of those drones, but there's already a spore crawler in the bases. So he should not be able to get too much done. Also 2 queens at the front, so even there not too much damage should be able to be done. And by the way, 2 phoenixes, they do not do enough damage to really deal with queens efficiently. But behind this, he's going to keep ZPR back at home a little bit, so he's going to be able to take his own third base. And we're going to see a full macro game from these 2 players. This hatchery is definitely going to come up, and I'm not quite sure if SnOvSki can do anything to really punish this. So very well played by ZPR, definitely anticipating exactly what SnOvSki was up to in this game. And more Phoenixes are on the way. How many does he currently have? He has 4, he's going to go up to 5. Are we going to see a 6th one to take that real map control from him? Once again, we do see the Spire on the way. The Mutalisk with this amount of Phoenixes out on the map already, that's not something that you really want to go for. But the Phoenixes do zone out those Overlords quite a bit, and that's going to deny any possible scouting intel for ZPR pretty significantly. So 6 more gateways on the way. Also the robotics facility is going to come through. And let's see what is going to be the first unit. Are we going to see very fast Colossus? Yes, we are going to go straight into Colossus with that robotics bay coming down. But let's have a look how much damage these Phoenixes are able to do. One more, well, at least 1 queen is going to get picked off. It did move away from that spore crawler, and that allows it to get killed off. Another queen being pretty ballsy right there. Will it be lifted? No, 2 queens are just going to be a little bit too powerful. Still, some overlords are going to go down. A little bit of a supply block will come up for ZPR pretty quickly. But he is building those overlords in order to stay alive and stay away from that supply block. Wow, that's actually a lot of overlords already going to go down. And another queen will get the lift. Yes, he's going to get the lift. But corruptors are popping out in just a few moments. Zerglings are going to come for some counterattack, but Photon Overcharge is going to send those away pretty quickly again. War Prism on the map, and they are warping in those zealots. He knows that there's not a big ground army. He sees that there are corruptors here, does not lose any of his phoenixes. That's a very nice move for him right there. But those zealots, they are going to go for the harassment at the third base, and there's really nothing there. He's producing more and more corruptors, but those corruptors, they are not going to be able to help against those zealots. And more zealots are being warped in. He might just get the kill on this third base because of this. Because there are a lot of Zerglings out, definitely. But looking at the current upgrades, we do have +1 done for the zealots, and not the +1 carapace for those Zerglings, which means that 2 hits from a zealot are going to kill off those Zerglings, and that is they are going to go down pretty quickly. So the Zerglings are still going to go for a counterattack. Corruptors are taking the map control. Oh, he's losing a lot of those phoenixes, keeping 4 of them alive, but the zealots are now moving in. He's evacuating the third base. The drones are helping to fight as well, but those zealots, they just do not seem to die, and they are dealing so much damage. War Prism is being camped a little bit because the units do take extra damage already in Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty when they are warping in. But that third base, it is going to go down. 12 drones also did fall already, but there is nothing to really catch those zealots just yet. There are now Mutalisk out. He's taking that air dominance, but a lot of zealots are going to be able to make it back home. The Dark Shrine is even on the way for some extra harassment options for SnOvSki. And yes, his 4th base is still up and running, but losing that 3rd base is definitely very painful for him. All these Zealots, they will die off as quickly as possible by those Mutalisks, and he's already looking to take that 3rd base once again, once those eggs are hatching. Now, also Zealots are trying to trade away as much as possible at the 3rd base. The Zerglings were there just in time in order to prevent that hatch from being sniped. But killing off so many Zealots, definitely very painful. But the 3rd base does get restarted. Even a 5th base is going to be on the way. And a probe has been spotted for any proxy pilot shenanigans. And the Phoenixes are still alive and being very pesky at the main base. Definitely making sure that those Mutalisks do not get free reign on the map. And there's another War Prism. It has been spotted by those Zerglings, however. So the Mutalisks are going to be able to fly towards it and intercept it as quickly as possible. Oh, the Corruptors once again find those Phoenixes. That's a very costly trade. He's just donating those Phoenixes. And that is going to make those Mutalisks so much more powerful. Cancel on the 5th base, but he has to get out of there. Those Mutalisks, they have grown in numbers so significantly. And he needs to take back that air dominance in case he wants to make something happen. But here are the Archons and Immortals. The Immortals not having a great target, but they will be able to kill off buildings incredibly quickly. The 3rd base being defended by 1 photon cannon, not the best defense, but those Archons, they are incredibly scary towards those Zerglings Archons, those Zerglings, Mutalisks and Corruptors, of course, but they are out of position right now. There are photon cannons now coming up everywhere, but they are a little bit late. They're not finished building just yet. And the army of SnOvSki is, well, it has grown with quite a few more Archons. He's going to force his army back, but in the main base there is going to be a photon overcharge to help deal with those Mutalisks. But there are so many Mutalisks. He's just going to focus down this Nexus, and that is going to be incredibly painful. But on the other side of the map, here are the Archons, here are the Immortals, and he is going to get some damage done on top of this 4th base. It does fall so incredibly quickly, but already 20 probes have gone down. Photon cannons, however, are finishing up right now, and he still has that natural base to mine from. The Nexus also at the 3rd base has been cleaned up. He only has this 1 Nexus to defend right now, and more photon cannons are going to be on the way. Not a single player is very heavy on the resource bank. Reinforcements are getting killed off so incredibly quickly. +2 attack upgrade for those Archons and Immortals has just finished up. And also the 3rd base is going to go down, but there's another base going up in the top left corner. And here we go, the army of ZPR has returned back home. Is he going to equalize in here? He's going to go for the attack, but those Archons, they are doing so much splash damage against this air army. But then again, there are so many Mutalisks here, but he is not going to be able to break it, or is he? No, those Mutalisks, they are going to go down so incredibly quickly, and there's the GG. The Archon army just too strong, and SnOvSki brings himself to a match point, to a 4-2 score.